Guys, it's Borkson. Hello, welcome to my channel if you're new here. Welcome back if you've been here before. So guys, today is Vlog-O-ween day 9. I can't even believe it. So guys, this is for my second channel. This is for Borkson. We're going to be doing Legacies. So on my main channel, depending on how the videos upload, today's video is least handsome to most. This video is going to be least sexy to most. And again, we have the character. And by the way, guys, if you guys don't know, Legacies is a spin-off of the show The Originals, which is a spin-off of the Vampire Diaries. So I was a big fan of the series, of the whole overall universe. I loved it. I was 17 when the Vampire Diaries premiered, may I say. And I acted when I was about 12. Anyway, guys, so today we're going to do the characters. I only have 5 characters on here. I was going to add Dorian, but Dorian's not really a main character. I thought he was. But Dorian's not a main character, so I tried to keep this only main characters. To try to keep this a little bit more, like a smaller but still competitive video. So on the list we have Alaric, who is the headmaster. Caleb, who's kind of, if you've seen the Vampire Diaries, kind of like the Damon of Legacies. He's like the ruthless one that wants to feed on humans and all. And then there's Jed, who is like the Tyler, but he's like the bully of the group, who is a werewolf. Raphael, who is a werewolf, but like kind of trying to piggyback on Hope and Landon's relationship, kind of like Damon did this to Stefan and Elena. Landon, who is kind of like the Stefan of Legacies, where he is the main girl Hope's love interest, but he is a phoenix, at least in the beginning. And then MG, who is in love with Lizzie, who is one of Alaric's twins. Okay, so let's explain the show a little bit to you guys if you guys have not seen it. Let's get into who I think is the least sexy most. Please keep in mind, they're pretty much all good looking men. And what I've said before, what I like about this cast is because the main female leads are mostly Caucasian girls, at least Lizzie and Hope are both played by Caucasian actresses. I know I really don't like bringing up race, but I do like to bring up the fact that yes, this show did something different than the other 2 predecessor shows that usually just had all people that were Caucasian mainly in the show. This one really added in people of other nationalities, other races, which I really enjoyed. And well, yes, the girl who plays the girl who plays Josie, she's actually a quarter Japanese. I wish they would have played that in the Covet. The Covet would have been like partially Japanese. I would have loved to have had some of, I'm sorry, I forget the name, the Gemini Coven be of like Asian descent a little bit. I would have loved that, but that would have had to go all the way back to the Vampire Diaries, and they didn't do that. Okay, but I just would have wished the show just would have added in the fact that the character could have been Japanese. I think that would have added a little bit difference to it. This isn't my disabled hand, by the way. I just sometimes my hand's sweaty. One, who I think is the least sexiest. All of them have sexy quality traits. Caleb. Like I said, they're all really good-looking men in this show. Caleb just isn't my cup of tea. I think it's probably because he's the Damon character. And in the actual Vampire Diaries, Damon was one of my favorite characters. So I think that in this one, the fact that he mirrors Damon made me like he's an okay character. And I think that is why I was like, I want to root for the Stefan sort of dude, and that is basically what I did. Okay, yeah, Caleb, in my opinion, it's really hot that he wants to be friends with Cleo, I think her name is, at the end of the series. He wants to film a relationship with her. Remember, guys, whenever I say, oh, this character is least sexy, that has nothing to do with the actress. He's played by an actor named Chris Lee. Now, personally, I'm going to get to I like how he played Caleb. I don't think anybody else could have played Caleb as good as he did. Like, he played a guy who wanted to be a ruthless vampire. I think that was great of Caleb. His personality was good. Like, he did, but the thing is, though, he did turn on a few of them at one point, and I was like, no, that's not sexy. But 2, Alaric. Alaric still loving his fiance that they were getting married and dying is beautiful. I think really sexy. I think it's really disturbed. I have no one to talk about this department because I grew up with a widowed father who never got over the loss of my mother. And I think I just see too much of that in Alaric to find it not sexy. My own father was that way. Like, he never fully got over the loss of my mother. It has nothing to do with this story, but it reminds me of what Alaric reminds me of. But Alaric suffered so much trauma. And the fact that he was happy that the Coven I tripped with, and Coven basically Caroline with his children, I think is really creepy. On one hand, yeah, I can understand why he did it. The actress that played Caroline was actually pregnant. Kansas King was actually pregnant. And saying King reminds me of my dog a little bit. Kansas King was pregnant in real life when they did that scene. So that is why they played her pregnancy in the series. I just think it was weird. I think they would have done one clip scene to change the whole pregnancy. I'll do a whole video on the pregnancy and a different video. I think they would have asked Caroline, I'm not getting actors and characters names confused, if she wanted to carry the baby. But the fact that Alaric was really happy, I understand he was happy. They were his children. He was happy, but it was just the whole storyline was kind of creepy in a way. So he ain't that sexy. 3, Jed. Jed, personality in the beginning was not sexy. Jed was a jerk. Jed was a bully. He kept picking on Raphael. Raphael? They pronounce it Raphael in this show, but at least in my family, Raphael is actually it's a very common family name. He pronounces Raphael. So I pronounce his name as Raphael, but I know it's pronounced as Raphael in the show. Landon even calls him Raph. I pronounce it as Raphael because that's the way I've always known to pronounce his name. That's my uncle's name. That's how we call him Uncle Raphael. We don't call him Uncle Raphael. It just sounds weird. Anyway, what is this? Oh, Raphael in Legacies. I got it written for me. Yeah, there's some definite sexy points about Raphael. But Raphael has some bad points. Which I don't blame him for having the hots for Hope. At one point, he starts having the hots for Hope, who's his best friend from growing up. Landon is his foster brother. They were foster brothers in a group home. In a foster home. They were best friends. Soon they were in group homes and everything else together. And he starts having a crush on his girl. Like, that's... He even said at one point, too, like, he felt like he was third wheel. And I'm just like, that's his best friend's girl. I know when I have best friends, my best friend has a guy, I don't want nothing to do with him. But the fact that they're close up, I can kind of understand. They're teenagers and hormones are raging. Hope is the girl who plays Hope. Like I always say too, I'm only attracted to men. That's why I don't do the sexiest women in videos. I'm only attracted to movies. I'm only attracted to men. I could see that boys would find Hope attractive, and she's a hybrid, a vampire, werewolf, witch, so I could see why Raphael is attracted to her. I just don't find it sexy that he's attracted to her. That's his best friend's girl. That's a little weird. I'm checking the time, guys. 5, Landon. Even though Landon, I have a love-hate relationship with Landon, to be honest. With Hope's girl. So he's kind of like the Stefan, sort of Legacies, where he's the main love interest to the main girl. But, to be 100% honest, yeah, I think him loving Hope and saying, that song he sings, Falling for a Girl, that song is some powerful stuff. And Aria, I forget the actor's last name, that plays him, has a gorgeous singing voice. I played the song a lot for my dog, and when I'm out in the backyard with King and I like dance to it, so it's gorgeous. But Landon is pretty hot. But there's some bad points to Landon too. One thing, he took the knife, but he was not supposed to. He didn't remember taking the knife. Malavar made him, and there's a big Malavar, thing that comes with him that we're not going to discuss in this video for spoiler reasons. But yes, guys, there's some good parts of Landon. There's some bad parts of Landon. Last but certainly not least, MG. So, guys, these guys were all really good looking in the show. So this was a really hard one to pick who's sexy the most. But there's some good parts about MG. MG is actually my favorite character, if you did not know. His character's name is Milton Greasley. He is a councilwoman's son who was turned by a vampire. His father is religious. He does not. We got one more to break down each character. I can do each character breakdown too. And his father thinks he's a demon because he knows his son is dead. But his mother knows that he turned into a vampire. Oh, guys, I wish we could have gotten more from the character. And what I thought was really, really cute was that, and this is what made, in my opinion, Raphael and Landon sexy. And the sexy thing they did was they actually went with him to greet his parents, to greet his mother. And at boarding school, they're friends with him. One's a werewolf and one's a phoenix or whatever. Because remember, they don't think Landon's supernatural until he dies. They call him the Phoenix back from dead. But guys, MG, his love for Lizzie is really cute. But on the same time, it's also kind of pathetic. He's following Lizzie Saltzman around. He likes her. He's also friends with Josie Saltzman. So I think it's I actually thought in the beginning they both could have liked MG. And I think they both did like Raphael at one point. And I'm like, they're sisters. Why are they going for the same guy? They're competing with each other for the same guys. Anyway, though, I do like how he eventually just says it to her. And she's like, oh, you'll have me there. But yeah, MG is definitely pretty hot. He tries to help people. He tries to be the good guy. I find that really sexy. If I don't just say so myself. Okay, guys, I can go on about these characters and babble on and on and on. But remember to comment, share, subscribe. Go and hit that bell for post notifications, guys. Please keep in mind, if you like more than 2 of my videos, consider subscribing so that it helps the algorithm. And my videos are meant for people around 22 to 35. Around that range are really where my videos are meant for. Because according to when I checked my algorithm, it says that my viewers are all male, which I know for a fact. I think it's some women on men accounts, and they're 65. I'm like, that is disgusting. No offense to anyone, but I don't like to deal with older men watching me. My videos are meant for younger women. Okay, guys, remember to comment, share, subscribe. Go hit that bell for post notifications, guys. But keep in mind, everyone is welcome to my channel as long as you're kind. Bye-bye.